So we all have dreams on where we want to go, and if we're already in this kind of self-development game and personal growth game, then we have a general idea or a vision of where we want to be. But the fact is that we really need to take ownership of where we're at right now and have a very clear picture of where my time and my energy is going right now. So then I can identify the steps that I need to take to get to where I want to go. And it's often that bit that there's some dissonance around that, because sometimes we don't even want to look at where we're at right now, because it means letting go of things, it means letting go of habits, it means changing. Often it means changing relationships as well, because the first step that I work with is around, okay, where we're at right now. Let's get clear. This clarity isn't just about clarity of the future vision. This is about clarity of where am I at right now. Let's own this. Step one. So where is my time and energy going currently? And a really good way to measure that is through journaling. Ideally, every day, at the end of the day, reviewing the day. Where did my time and energy go today? And how did that feel for me? Really important aspect of it. Where's my time and energy going? Who with? What activities? And how does that feel for me? That's a really powerful one to do. And after a few days, few weeks of doing that, you'll really start to notice a pattern. And once we've seen that, we can't unsee it and we can't undo it. And if we want to move forward, now we can start identifying the action steps that we need to do. Maybe we need to set stronger boundaries with certain people. Maybe we need to incorporate some time management tools because I'm not focusing at a certain time. Perhaps I'm noticing that the afternoons just are not good for me. That's certainly what I notice. There's a time block in the afternoon where I'm trying to push through and do work, and the afternoon just is not my time. So all of this, getting to really know where I'm at currently, where I'm at now, will also identify your own ultradian rhythm, how healthy your own sleep cycle, circadian rhythm is. Identifying all of that now will help us to identify, okay, now where do I need to change? Where do I want to change? Some of that might be really clear already, and that's great. For some people, that's really clear. But the first step is really identifying, particularly, where is my time and energy going now? And then, the next step that I tend to work with is in the vision. So where do I want to be? What is my vision for the future? And I love this bit because it's just delightful to get into this visioning. And I work with guided meditations and guided visioning. So I take my clients through a guided journey on their future self. How do you look? How do you feel? What are you doing? How are you impacting in the world? Who is with you? Who is your support network? How does it feel? And really getting into the feeling of how it really feels in the future when you're doing the thing. And really trying to get into as much detail with this as possible. And again, making it a daily practice. Writing little affirmations, having images that are within your sight, little post-it notes with a positive affirmation on the bathroom mirror, on the fridge door next to the kettle, on your desktop, images, screensavers on your desktop. So you're reminded of the vision constantly, where you want to go. You're reminded of that constantly. Because we know where we're at now. We've brought that into awareness, so that's fine. We don't need to dwell on that. What we're aiming for now is moving forward. Where am I going? Where am I going? What do I want to do? How exciting. So we get into the feels of all of that, what I want to do, who I want to be working with, all of that stuff. We make that into a daily practice. So all of this requires consistency. All of it requires consistency. Even having a clarity of vision requires some consistency, because you'll build on that vision. And the more that we invest in that emotionally, then the more likely we are to commit to actually taking the action steps. Which is coming into the next phase of actually creating a plan. Creating a plan, okay, how am I going to do this? I know where I am, I know where I want to be. What does that take? So generally what I do at this stage is a big old brain dump, journal, or using some kind of CRM system, Trello, or just anything. It could be anything, it could be a Word document, it doesn't really matter. Not a piece of paper that you're going to throw away, but something you can just get all of the information from the brain onto the page. All of the information, everything. Break down and research. And this bit is very overwhelming. So this bit is really overwhelming, because then suddenly there's this huge page of, good Lord, there's a lot to do there. Where do I begin? So this is where we begin planning. We don't create a to-do list. We do not create a to-do list. To-do lists don't really do us any favours, because we tend to add on to the to-do list, and just the word, a list of stuff to do, doesn't really inspire me or motivate me. So what we do is we break down the plan into a time frame, into a time schedule, and we work on those steps. We break it down and we prioritise. What do I need to do first? And then we break that thing down into micro tasks. And then we plug those tasks directly into our schedule. We don't put them on a list, we don't put them on a project management tool. We can, but putting them straight into a schedule. So having a scheduler, even I use Google Calendar. Having that scheduler to at least have the intention of doing the things, and schedule these times in for a time that you know you are motivated. So, for example, some people are morning people and some people are not. Here is my example from personal experience in a couple of my clients. Get up, we do our morning practice. Then, before, check in phone, check in email, check in any external noise. So before checking any of the external stuff, I set a timer, Pomodoro style, and I work on that thing that I've scheduled, that number one thing, even if it's just 25 minutes of it. I do Pomodoro style, which original technique is 25 minutes, take a 5-minute or 10-minute break, and then another 25 minutes. You can get so much done in these blocks. There's usually there's two 90-minute peaks in our day that through the time journaling with your time and energy, you will be able to identify when is your peak time of day. And that peak time of day is a great time to do this. Because often there'll be some resistance around it as well. And that resistance is great because it means that you care, and that's amazing. It means that you're emotionally invested in it, which can also carry some fear, procrastination, all of that stuff. But it takes 6 minutes for the brain to go through that. And I use a huge amount of all sorts of techniques that I've learned over the years to get myself through that resistance and to get that focus on to do the thing. Having the knowing my ultradian rhythm and knowing what part of the day for me is good for me to do that, and getting rid of all distractions is a really big one. So this is part of the planning and the scheduling, and using these techniques like the Pomodoro timer, time blocking in my schedule, definitely having some accountability, which is the next phase. The final phase of this is the implementation. The implementation paradoxically goes hand in hand with an element of surrender, because you're becoming so confident that you're surrendering and trusting that this is going to happen. There's a huge element of manifestation, but you've got to do the things and make the effort. As a physical human being, we've got to make the effort and take these action steps. But knowing energetically, we bring in the energetics, and bringing in energetically, knowing, trusting, feeling that this is going to happen and that this is done. Because if we're going into the spiritual realms, which I do, in another timeline, it is happening and it is done. Everything is happening simultaneously in all of these different timelines, all of these different options. And so trusting that we can tap into that timeline and knowing that we can do that and that we can be there because it's already happening, knowing that brings this level of surrender and this level of calm and a centering. So now we can take the action steps with confidence. And that's a really important piece. And then to support that is this accountability, is being consistent, firstly. So being consistent with this. That is tough because we're in a world of distraction. And this world of distraction promotes a level of apathy, procrastination. It creates a level of procrastination. And so consistency is really important, and self-discipline coming into that level of consistency. So self-discipline is huge, and that's why accountability is priceless. Having somebody who inspires you, having somebody that you trust and respect, that you can check in with weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, having that consistent, unwavering support, that gives us that little bolster, you know. There's someone in our corner. There's someone in our corner who cares. And this is the beautiful thing also of having an accountability partner or an accountability coach is, and coming from, so I have an accountability coach and also I am an accountability coach. And I know from experience that having somebody in your corner who genuinely cares, and we genuinely care, like we do the work that we do because we love people. We love to see people like you light up and flourish and be in your genius. Oh, there's nothing, it's amazing seeing another human being really shining and really being in their genius. It lights us up, it amplifies us, and it's a reciprocal process of this amplification of all of the good stuff. Yes, we're doing it. It feels amazing. So having that accountability and consistent accountability support is really, really key to this process as well. So that's my process very briefly, is finding out exactly where our time and energy is going right now, phase 1. Getting clear, phase 2, on the vision, deepening into the yumminess of the vision and where I want to go, really getting some detail on that. Then implementing a plan, an actual for real life plan that I'm going to do, breaking it down into all of the micro steps and scheduling it, using all of those amazing time management tools that we have access to now, AI, all of the brilliant stuff that we can use, and we can use it easily. I have to keep telling myself that because I'm a bit of a technophobe, but I told myself that. And then the final phase is the accountability, the implementation and the accountability and being consistent all the way through. It's a daily practice. It has to be a daily practice. In Atomic Habits by James Clear, he talks about 1% and having just doing 1% of something every day. Over the course of a year, you're 37% better than you were having not done that 1%. And the 1% doesn't really feel like very much at the time. Incrementally, though, we're creating these new habits and these new spaces. And just to add that these daily practices, I do talk a lot about daily practices, and it's not just this manifestation of the goal and the dream that is a daily practice. The daily practice is something that supports us in achieving that. So getting out into nature every day and connecting with nature every day is really a huge and essential part of this. I'm writing a book which is rooted in wellness, and I have a free download on my website, which is a snapshot of that. And it's all about self-care through connecting to nature, increasing our vitality and our life force by allowing nature to nourish us, which it does. And so getting bare feet on the ground, having plenty of natural daylight is really, really important, really, really key, particularly in the mornings. There are many biological and hormonal factors going on with us in the morning with this cortisol spike, and hitting the caffeine first thing in the morning is just mixing with the cortisol and just creating a bit of a mess, certainly later on in the day, even though we may feel like a peak lift. That caffeine mixed with the cortisol is going to crash later. So there's all sorts of different techniques that we can do to do ourselves a favour and work with the cortisol and increase the serotonin and work with our nervous systems. There are so many, not just lifestyle biohacks out here, but also biological biohacks. It's an incredible field that I'm diving into as well, to look at how we can work with the body to create optimum performance. We're not just out here surviving, we're out here creating something amazing. We're out here sharing. We're out here creating a new possibility, a new version of reality that we may not have dreamt possible, but it is. Oh, it is. And we have to tap into the lightness of that. And again, it goes back to the vision. It's not like it has to be, the vision is there all the time. We're programming ourselves daily to tune into the vision. And that feels fun. And then we're bringing that fun into the day and making stuff happen. And there will be stuff in the day that is not fun, blatantly. There's a lot happening in the world that is not fun, obviously. But where are we going to focus? Where are we going to put our focus? Again, where is our time and energy going? It's a choice where we focus. Where we put our time and energy is our choice. So that's what I do. That's my program. All of my links I will put down below. You can find all of the details of my program on my website, which is clairebelmont.com. I love working one-to-one with people. I love running groups as well. I look forward to hearing from you. If you want to tune in and just have a chat about any of this stuff, then please feel free also on my website to book a call with me. I'm really happy to do like a 20-30 minute coffee chat call and just talk all of this stuff, talk about any of this stuff really, because it inspires me and I know that it inspires others, and that's what I'm out here to do. So thank you for being here, and I hope to tune in with you again soon.